In my opinion, I agree with the allocation of funds that are considered excessive. There is no doubt that this is also one of the government's efforts to attract more tourists in order to strengthen the country's image, thus leading to increased tourism competitiveness. However, there needs to be sustainable management for the long term to avoid waste and economic imbalance. Apart from that, priority should also be given to safety and comfort aspects so as not to affect the tourism economy, such as the provision of clean public toilet facilities. Furthermore, the needs of the people are also important to show the government's concern for the public. Finally, with consideration of allocation for various aspects, it will also open up job opportunities if the government prioritizes investment in infrastructure to benefit the economy, thus increasing national income and strengthening the local economy.
Next, for question B, we are asked to identify the concept of scarcity faced by the government, the choice it had, and the opportunity cost incurred from the decision to spend money on decorative items and lighting. In this situation, the government is facing scarcity, which means that resources are limited, while human wants and needs are unlimited. The government only has a certain amount of money collected from taxes and national income. But demand for public services keeps increasing. Because of this, not all projects can be carried out at the same time. There are many areas that need funding such as healthcare, education, public safety, and infrastructure. However, due to limited financial capacity, the government must make choices and trade-offs between different priorities. In this case, the government decided to allocate 16 million to 30 councils for decorative lights and festive displays. The purpose was to attract more tourists and boost short-term economic activity. However, by making this decision, other important projects such as improving public transport, healthcare, and infrastructure had to be delayed or cancelled. Therefore, the situation clearly shows how scarcity forces the government to make choices, and every choice involves giving up another opportunity that might provide greater long-term benefits to society.
Next, I will explain about the concept of opportunity cost in this situation. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that has to be sacrificed when a choice is made. In this case, when the government decided to allocate 60 million ringgit for decorative lighting and festive displays, they gave up the chance to use that same amount of money for other more essential projects. For example, the fund could have been used to upgrade public facilities such as cleaner toilets, better infrastructure, and improved transportation systems. It could also be used to build more healthcare centers, schools, or community facilities that bring long-term benefit to the people. However, because of limited financial resources, the government had to choose only one option, and the chosen project was the decorative lighting. This decision shows that every choice made by the government comes with a cost, not just in terms of money, but also in terms of what society loses out on. Even though the lighting may attract tourists and provide short-term economic benefits, the opportunity cost is the loss of long-term development that could improve the citizens' daily lives. In conclusion, opportunity costs help us understand that every economic decision involves trade-offs. The government must always weigh which option provides greater overall benefit to society, whether it's short-term attraction or long-term public welfare.
The next one is basic economic problems. First one, what to produce. These refer to deciding which goods and services to make and in what quantity. Since no country can produce everything, priorities must be set. For example, the government's decision to spend RM60 million on decorative light instead of improving public facility shows the challenge of choosing between beautifications or public welfare.
The second one is how to produce. This concerns the method of productions, whether to use more machines, capital intensive, or more human labor, such as labor intensive. A labor intensive approach creates jobs, while a capital intensive method reduces costs and increases productivity. The best choice depends on what the nations value most, such as employment or efficiency. The third one is for whom to produce. This question deals with who benefits from the goods and services produced. In the same case, decorative light may be benefit tourists and businesses more than ordinary citizens. Hence, governments must ensure that spending decisions meet the needs of the people, not just a few groups. Because resources are limited, not every need can be met. Every choice has an opportunity cost. Choosing one option means giving up another. By spending on decorations, the government sacrifices the chance to improve essential services like healthcare or infrastructure.
The last part is about my opinion. Goods like water and air, scarce or abundant. In my opinion, in economy, the concept of a scarce is a fundamental to all economic problem because the world resources are insufficient to meet unlimited human demand. Therefore, individual, firm, and the government must make the best choice for using resources to achieve a maximum efficiency and the social well-being. Goods like water and air seem abundant but are actually economic limit because they require effort, cost, and a market value to obtain. According to the theory of resources scarce, all natural resources have a limit in terms of a quantity and quality. For example, clean air is becoming increasingly difficult to find in major cities like Kuala Lumpur or Beijing. People have to pay for clean air, such as buying air purifier or healthy care, which show that a clean air have a positive economic value. Similar with water, although there is a lot of it on earth, only 3% of fresh water drinkable. Dry countries like Saudi Arabia and Egypt need to be high cost to obtain water through desalination or import. It shows that a clean water is also limit economic good, as explained Adam Smith's theory of use value and exchange value, where it's high utility but require a cost to obtain. Overall, water and air are now high-value economic resources because a demand is increasing due to population growth, pollution, and climate change. Therefore, the management of these resources must be done wisely and sustained by the government, the private sector, and individuals to ensure a balance between a current and a future needs.